kind of knew that a plain and ugly person like you was never meant for the son of a CEO like Abel. Don't you feel the same way? That's kind of why I'd like you to give up on that wedding with him now. All you'll be doing to yourself by having it is making yourself even more embarrassed, right? Huh? What's all this about now, Astrid? As a longtime friend of yours, I thought I'd just tell you the truth straight up. Everyone else around you are all being way too kind, trying to be nice to you and not hurt your feelings about this, right? How great you must feel to have an honest friend like me around, right? Now, as a way of appreciating that, could you please listen to what helpful advice I've given you? Helpful advice? None of what you've said to me was helpful in any way at all, though. All you're doing is sending me some really rude texts right before my wedding of all things. And as for who I'm getting married to and what they have to do with me, it has nothing to do with you at all, right? Marrying the son of a really successful CEO is not something that suits you, Helen. I like to think that someone like you is far better off marrying a man working in trades or some other dirty work. Huh? What the hell are you trying to say about me right now? What do you think you're going to achieve by coming to me and saying such things? Do you find it fun to say rude things to me now? What? Why is it so hard for you to understand how kind I'm being right now? We are longtime friends, aren't we? That's why I'm saying all of these things out of the kindness of my heart. You should be thanking me for doing that. You just called me ugly and plain, as well as not being fit for someone like my fiance. What about all of those things was very kind of you, and what should I be thanking you for? None of what you're saying is making any sense at all right now, Astrid. Well, it's not like there's any reason for you to be getting prepared for marriage anyway, because you're never going to be able to get married to a man of that caliber. Ugh. If all you want to do here today is talk down to me about what I'm doing and the person that I am, then how about you just stop and find something better to do with your time? I hope you're looking forward to what's going to happen tomorrow. I would like to say that to you, actually. By the way, did I even invite you to my wedding in the first place? I'll see you tomorrow. I really have no clue what all of that was just about. Just cut it out with all that crazy weird stuff and go do something else with your time, please. You're just creating a larger boundary between you and I is all. Goodbye now. I know it's only 10 minutes before your wedding is supposed to start, but I'll be taking your fiance from you now. Having now just lost your groom to me in such a sad way, I hope you live the rest of your life in despair. Huh? Once again, I have zero clue what all you're going on about right now, so do you care to explain? Your groom, Abel, ended up choosing me over you because I'm better. I guess he never really was into you all that much. By the way, when you put yourself and me side by side, of course any man would want to choose me. And Abel has told me that I'm the woman for him. And no matter how he compares you and I, he can see that I am far better off becoming the wife of a CEO than you are. Hold on a second, so that means you're with Abel right now? I was just told that Abel went missing a little bit ago, which means that he ran off to be with you now? That's right! You miserable bride. This should put you in your place for once and force you to never try for a man of Abel's type again. But of course, I'll be inviting you out to our wedding soon. So please look forward to the day that will be happening on. There's no way something like this could be happening. I'm cutting ties to you for good after the crap you've pulled this time. You have done something so unimaginable and wrong that I don't think I can even talk to you anymore. You and I are longtime friends, though. It wasn't my fault that you could never understand how ugly and plain you've been. I'm tired of talking with you now, Astrid. There is nothing left that I have to say to a monster like you, so goodbye. Abel, where have you run off to? It's time for the wedding to start now, and you're nowhere to be found yet.
I'm sorry, but I can no longer marry someone like you, Helen. I ended up finding the woman that I've been destined for, so there was nothing else I could do. I learned that you were not the person I was meant to marry at the last minute of all times. So go ahead and cancel that wedding for us, please.
What? Are you seriously saying something like that right now? Are you seriously saying that you are going to leave me for my longtime friend Astrid now?
I don't want to compare the two of you in any way, but the fact that things had to happen like this with one of your longtime friends makes me feel a little bit bad. But I like to think that you and I being together only ever happened so that I could meet her. Had I been able to find Astrid before I ever started to date you, I would have totally chosen her and never had to hurt you like this. There you go. She is the one that I love the most and will be spending the rest of my life with. I love her.
Wow, that is frickin' disgusting.
Huh? Who the hell do you think you are calling this disgusting? I'm just allowing myself to follow my destiny instead of trying to make things work with a woman I was never meant for.
That is not the kind of crap you should be saying to your bride on the day of our wedding, though. Had that been the way you felt about me, you should have told me a whole lot sooner. There would have been time to cancel this wedding weeks in advance, and then all of these guests of ours wouldn't have had to waste their time coming here today. Are you really okay causing them all this trouble now? What are you going to say to your parents when they ask you about all of this? You've really gone and shown us how selfish you are now.
I'm sure that my parents will be just fine with the path that I've chosen. And thank God all this happened before I went to the courthouse with you and legally got married. Now let's both go and live our different lives apart from one another.
Seriously, this is all so insane that I'm not even sure how to feel about any of this anymore. Now all I can think about is how crazy not only you are, but Astrid is, as well as your parents, who I'm sure won't actually give a damn. Just remember that it's not me going to be regretting all of this, but you and your family, Abel. And if you do happen to forget, I'll make sure to come around and remind you all of what you've done.
What are you trying to say you can do to us that'll make us all regret this day? Stop crying like such a bitch now just because I found my true love. Just give it up already and go find yourself a new man who will actually love you, unlike me, and be happy that way. Although it's going to be pretty difficult for you to become as happy as Astrid and I'll be.
Go ahead and say whatever you'd like. I have no reason to be comparing my future with yours, considering you all will be on a completely different level of hell after today. Anyway, go ahead and enjoy that new path you've chosen, asshole. Hey, has the invitation made its way to your place yet? You're going to come out to our wedding for us, right? We happen to be longtime friends with one another after all. Huh? An invitation? Now that you mention it, something like that did come in the mail for me. What? You still haven't taken a look at it yet? Go and open it right now, please. That invitation is for one of your most important friends' weddings, after all. And you promised to come to it no matter what. I have no reason to go anywhere you'll be at. It's only been a little while, and yet you've forgotten what you've done to me already? Oh, and by the way, have you taken a look at today's news by any chance? Why are you trying to change the subject of this conversation on me now? Are you still that upset with me after what happened? Well, whatever it is on TV has nothing to do with me. I am at that point now where nothing will stop me from being as happy as I am. This is going to be the most luxurious wedding ever held. Oh, the most luxurious wedding ever, huh? Let's just hope that can actually happen for you now. Stop acting so jealous about it. If you keep on hating me like that for what I've obtained, then you're going to live the rest of your life in darkness. Are you wanting me to apologize to you for all of this or something? Well, here you go. I'm so sorry that I stole your CEO's son of a fiance from you right before your wedding. But now that wealthy young man that I'm marrying is going to have a very expensive wedding filled with all the most prestigious of guests. So a loser like you has to come as well, all right? So you haven't seen the news about their company going bankrupt? What? It's on the news right now if you turn on a TV. Well, there were talks about that company going under for a while now, so that's nothing new to see. So watching as that company goes bankrupt now is not a shocker. This happened because they lost their contract with my company. Huh? What news are you talking about? You're just joking about all of that, right? Are you that upset with everything I've done to you that you'd lie about my fiance's family now? Not at all. I really don't care about you enough anymore to waste my time doing something as petty as that. I'm just trying to tell you the facts about your fiance's dad's company is all. How about you have a look at the news now? Hold on a second. What kind of news is this? Huh? Are you sure this isn't some kind of fake news that you've made up? Why would anybody care to make up fake news about that company, Astrid? But you know this did all happen after you decided to steal my fiance from me, which led to that contract being ended. I like to think this was a great outcome for myself now that I really think about it. But in your case, this kind of sucks to hear, right? I'm sure that fancy wedding you were planning to have with all of those guests isn't going to be very fun now. Huh? What the hell does that mean? If that wedding isn't going to be as fun as I've been thinking, then what's going to happen to my marriage to Abel? What about all of those prestigious guests his dad was inviting? I've already sent out all of the invitations with Abel for the wedding. Are you trying to make it sound like my wedding is going to have to end up being canceled or something now? I don't even think you're going to have one in the first place. Abel's father just lost his company of all things, which means they won't be able to afford a wedding for you guys anymore. And when it comes to Abel himself, he just lost his job, right? As you can see on the news right now, the CEO of that company ran away. If the banks aren't able to find his father, that means Abel, being the one who is next in line for the position of CEO, will have to take on that responsibility for his father. Well, as his soon-to-be wife, you'll just have to do your best to support him as he struggles, right? What are you talking about? You're saying his dad ran away? There's no way something like that could have happened to that family. Why would a dad like Abel's be willing to run from his own company and leave all of that mess to his son? Could he even be considered a parent for doing something like that? Why are you asking me all of that? Just look at the news, for crying out loud. Asking me is just a waste of both our time, as I don't actually care about that family anymore, you dumbass. Now, because none of that matters to me, go find someone else to cry to. Please. Why, at a time like this? His company went bankrupt. There's no way something like that could be happening. Was it because the company wasn't getting good enough results? I never knew something like that could even happen to a company like theirs. Hey, how about you take a look at the news and stop texting me now? All I've seen is that Abel's father was embezzling money from the company, and no small amount of money either. He was also going and covering up any of the company's faulty product so that he could meet sales goals his company set. And, well, both of those things led to a massive problem on their hands. Sure, my company may have pulled out of that contract last minute, but had we been any later, and things might have bit us in the butt as well over there. What do you mean when you keep saying your company? That company that Abel's father has been running just so happens to be one of the companies I've been watching after for my company, which means we had a contract between one another when it came to business. It was actually because of that contract that I met with Abel and started to talk with him a lot. And whenever he'd tell me about all the details of his father's company, I knew something smelled a bit fishy. So after taking a look into things by myself, I noticed there were plenty of issues with the way Abel's father ran that company, and I went to my boss about it. That led to my boss initiating a proper investigation into Abel's father's company, and soon after that, the issues were completely exposed. What? So, in other words, all of this is your fault! Why are you going to blame me for all of that? I never went and embezzled money from my own company or hid product defects. All I did was come across those issues and bring them up to my boss. The only ones who should be blamed right now are your fiancé and your fiancé's father. Because of the bad choices they both made, their company sank. Wouldn't you call that them both getting what they were asking for? So you took things that far in order to ruin our wedding? There's no freaking way something like this could happen. I can't believe this. Ruin your wedding? Wasn't it you that waited until 10 minutes before my wedding to tell me that you stole my fiancé from me and that he'd no longer be coming back, resulting in my ongoing wedding being ruined? Well, it's not like I held anything against you for that, because you saved me a lot of trouble by ending things between Abel and I. I'm glad I didn't have to become family to some criminals. I'm really happy that I didn't ever have to marry that pile of crap man either. What the hell? Are you making fun of me now? Of course I am. But I wasn't the one who started this, considering you were the first one taking the crap out of me, right? And hey, didn't things end up the way you wanted them to with me? We should both be happy right now with our new lives. Sure, it sucks that your wedding may not happen anymore, but thankfully this happened a bit before your wedding day, so You ended up better than I did when you took my fiance. How could this be any good for me? Tell me right now, what about all of this should be making me happy? You ended up the same as me, right? You didn't have to go through all of that crap like the wedding and marrying criminals, right? Unless what you're saying is... Astrid, did you already get married to Abel at the courthouse or something? You thought I wouldn't be married to him yet? We went to the courthouse a long time ago in order to become husband and wife. Are you serious? Well, now you've really gone and done it to yourself. I didn't think that someone like you could actually be as stupid as that. Who are you calling stupid? I was afraid that someone as miserable as you would try and get back at me by stealing my Abel from me, so we freaked out and got married as soon as we could, which makes all of this your fault now. Do you understand what I mean by that right now? You have gone and ruined my whole life because of that now, so you're going to take responsibility for it. Wait. I didn't know that I was you, too. Well, if that's the case, can I have whatever things you have right now? Your money, your clothing, even your place? What? Well, you just made it sound like I have to take responsibility for you screwing up your own life, right? Which means that I must be you as well. Or are you just that frickin' dumb that you're trying to push your own mistakes off onto someone else? That would be a massive mistake right there if that's the case. You went and did all of that stuff to yourself, so you take responsibility for it. Are you really unaware of the fact that you did all of that to yourself? But then who's going to compensate me for this whole mess? Compensate for your mess, you mean? I don't completely understand. What are you trying to say here? My wedding, if things don't change soon, then I won't be able to have it, right? Who is going to compensate me for that? That's something I don't know about or care to know about. And since it's your wedding, how about you figure that one out? And hey, how about instead of talking to a complete stranger about all your problems, you talk to your husband? You both married one another, so how about you do what husbands and wives do and fix your personal issues yourselves? Anyway, I hope things go well for you guys. Wait a sec, Helen, I'll give you Abel back. Huh? What the hell do you mean you'll give him back? I mean what I just said. I don't need someone like Abel anymore, which is why I'll be handing him back over to you now. But that means you'll have to give me back my peaceful life where I wasn't married to these idiots. I actually have no idea what the hell you're talking about now. Goodbye. I don't need trash like that, so have a good day now. I've got a good life of my own now, so no littering idiots are going to pollute my garden. So goodbye forever now, you crappy longtime friend. And P.S. We aren't friends or anything, so stop talking to me like you know me. I hope you both find a way to make that hell comfortable together.
Helen, do you think you can talk right now? I have something that I'd really like to apologize to you about right now.
No thanks, don't have time for trash like you. And since you are trash and I don't speak to your kind, we won't be able to understand one another anyway. So goodbye now.
Hold on a second, Helen. What the hell am I supposed to do in this situation? Hey! Stop trying to act like you can just leave me here like this. I'm trying to talk with you right now because I've thought everything through, okay?
What the hell do you keep calling me for? Make whatever the hell you have to say quick and then leave me alone.
I made a mistake! My mistake was choosing someone like Astrid over you! I should have just looked away from her and stayed on track to marrying you! I get that this is the worst time to ask this, but could you please forgive me?
Forgive you? Forgive what about you exactly? I'm not mad at you or anything, Abel, so what is there to forgive you for?
What? You're not upset with me? Well, that's freaking great news to my ears. That'll make things a whole lot quicker for me. Let's get married.
Huh? So who was it today that made you hit your head that badly? Because there's no way in hell you could just be asking me that without there being something completely wrong with your head. You're already married to Astrid, aren't you? So you can't marry me now. Oh, wait. Are you just trying to marry me now because your daddy's company fell flat? Seriously, man?
If you can get that contract going again with my father's company, then I'm sure he'll come back to me and take the blame for whatever crimes he committed. So please, let's talk about this all together in a more serious fashion.
Do you have any idea what you'd done before I cut ties to you? I'm not joking here. 10 minutes before our wedding, you ran off with my longtime friend and never came back, which then caused me to have to cancel our wedding and everything. And I'm not just blaming you for that, because Astrid is just as much to blame. But right now, you seem to act like none of that was a big deal to us all, and that you can get my help in saving your daddy's company again.
I know that. I'm sure a lot of that is true. But I've learned my lesson from all of that. And I've learned that Astrid only wanted me for my father's and my money. Choosing her over you was a major mistake of mine that I want to fix now. So Helen, will you please come back to me? I want to become happy with you now, which means I'll go and divorce her right now.
Honestly, men like you are even more crappy than I first thought you'd be.
Why the hell would you say something like that about me? You told me you weren't upset at me, yet that seems to have been a lie now.
I wasn't lying when I said I wasn't mad. I just don't give a damn about you anymore is all. And you and your family's company has nothing to do with me anymore, so to be frank, I just don't care what happens to all of you.
You don't give a damn about me? You and I were gonna get married to one another, yet now you're telling me you don't care about me anymore? Could something like that even be possible?
All right, Abel, let me explain this to you then. When you both went ahead and did something so unthinkable that it actually made my head hurt for a few days, I lost interest in everything that had to do with you. Also, when it comes to your daddy's company going under, that was all due to your daddy's doings. And you being the next in line for the position of CEO should have meant that you'd step in when you saw what he was doing and saved the company you were going to inherit, right? Yet you never could do that even when I warned you to, instead waiting for things to go to hell before asking me to come back. You are nothing more than a fake man and one who should never step near the position of CEO ever again.
You don't have to say all of that to me now. I already know that. But I don't care what all I did then because I just want you back now.
And I strongly decline. Now you stop talking to me forever, you pile of shit. Go find your wife now and burn in hell with her, please. Goodbye forever, you asshat. I know that this might not be the best time for this, but I really want to apologize to you. Shut the hell up. A few weeks ago, your dumbass husband tried what you're doing now, and it's not going to work. And didn't I tell you to never talk to me again? Screw off. I don't care to talk anymore. And as for that apology, go and shove it up your pussy or something. We aren't anything anymore, and we never will be. But I want to become your friend again. And it's all because of that crappy man that our relationship as friends to one another was ruined in the first place, which has left me very sad. I've made sure to leave him now because of that. Ooh, is that right? Well, thank God for that, I guess. Now you won't have to deal with all of his self-inflicted responsibilities anymore, right? Great. But I've already had to deal with them enough. Due to us having been married when he took on all that debt from his dad who ran off, he had to pay out of his own pocket in order to appease the banks, which left him with no money at all, and that meant he could never afford to pay me a settlement in the divorce. How awful, right? And as for my family, they all disowned me, so I have nowhere left to go. Helen, could you please help me? Huh? What? So you came here after I told you to screw off forever, asking for my help of all things? Are you actually serious right now? What makes you think I'd ever help your ass? You already know you're helpless, don't you? I don't have anyone to ask for help anymore. You're the only person in my phone that hasn't blocked me yet and I can still get in touch with. You can understand why, right? I promised to apologize, so please. Allow me to say this. I have never once thought of you as anything more than an annoying bitch, okay? What? What do you mean by that? Sure, we lived close to one another when we were little, which meant we always were playing around one another. But I always saw you as this little pain in the ass and nothing else. Remember how you'd always take all my things from my house and break them all? I always hated you for being such an asshole, but now that we're adults, I've learned to just forget about you entirely. You're lying, right? I thought you were one of my closest friends. Sorry, but I never thought that about you and have never wanted to talk to you. You're probably the most annoying person I had to deal with growing up, so now I can say that you need to go screw yourself for what you've done. Now that you've been told that, how about leaving me alone and dealing with all that yourself? And one other thing, stop acting like such a selfish bitch, please. If you want people to stay around you, you have to act like you're actually worth being around in the first place. Anyway, good luck with all of that. And this time, I'm just going to delete all of your contact info after blocking you. So goodbye forever! After having gone and told Astrid how I have truly felt about her all these years, I was able to block her and delete her contact in my phone. And from what my parents have told me back in her family's neighborhood, her parents weren't kidding about disowning her. And so when she tried to step back into their house, they yelled at her to screw off, calling her an embarrassment to everyone in that neighborhood. Right now she's out there somewhere working a few jobs, trying to make up all the money she had to lose, renting her own place and moving far away from the rest of us. I know that I really don't have to think about what happened with her anymore, but I really am thankful that she got in the way of my marriage with Abel and saved me from all that needless hell. And what happened with Abel, you might be asking? Well, he ended up being stuck with all the crimes his father had committed in the company, as he was always there to witness them taking place, and that would leave him in a lot of debt after paying all the legal fees and fines off. His father never could be found, and based off his spending, he has bought a one-way ticket to Russia and took his wife with him in order to never be found again. I'm not sure what all has happened with Abel since the divorce, but from what some of my friends have told me, he ended up selling his parents' home in order to get the money to pay off his debts, and has gone and left town in order to start a new life. I'm not sure how well things are going to go for him out there, but considering his name was all over the news like his father's, he can probably forget about ever finding a company job like the one he had ever again. As for right now, I'm going to go out there and find someone else who can make me happy, and I mean make me really happy. And of course, considering I'll never have to hear from those dumbasses anymore, I'll be happy no matter where I go or who I'm with next.
Hey, Tammy, are you there? I just wanted to let you know that after the funeral today, we're all going to go out for a nice restaurant, so there's no need for you to worry about food today. And that means you don't have to worry about bringing along anything weird either. Got it?
Oh, hello, Cindy. Thank you for reaching out to tell me all of that. But don't worry, I wasn't even planning on bringing anything in the first place, so there's nothing to fret about it.
But of course there is. There's so much to worry about when it comes to you. I mean, who knows what some kind of person who didn't even finish high school like you might think to bring to a somber gathering like this. I just have no idea what someone like you might pull, and so that's why I'm trying to warn you now not to bring anything weird at all to the funeral or to the meal.
I really am sorry, but I don't think that I know at all what you're talking about. But I really wasn't planning on bringing anything out of the ordinary at all.
And I am telling you that you telling me that as someone who hasn't even graduated high school is as good as telling me nothing. I have no idea what someone like you might think is normal. Although, I do have to say that I am pretty scared to have to eat the same food as you and have to sit so closely to you while we are at the restaurant. I mean, who knows if your stupidity will rub off on me?
Cindy, I think you know that we've talked about this before, but I have graduated high school. I literally have my diploma, thank you very much.
Oh, please. You think the paper that says that you were admitted and a diploma are the same thing? This is really rich, you know that? I hope this is some kind of joke or something. Honestly, why do I even bother trying to have a conversation with you like this when I know that you'll never understand anything about what I'm talking about at all? You're just too stupid to get it through that thick skull of yours.
Wow. So I guess that you're just not even going to bother trying to hide the fact that you don't like me anymore, is that right? I mean, you know what I really just can't get? I can't get how someone as sweet as my brother-in-law could end up with someone like you. It really is just a complete mystery to me.
I think it's probably because your husband's brother just cares a lot about family, and he sees that I really respect my family. It's no wonder why he fell in love with me as quickly as he did. And honestly, I'm glad that he did. Him and I are just the perfect couple, and I know that when my parents grow old, he's going to be a good son-in-law and be there for them when they need him.
You know, I'm not quite sure that I like the way that you're talking about my brother-in-law like that. I mean, it sounds more like you might just want to use him more than anything else.
Well, I don't know what to tell you. These are just the kind of things that you have to think about when you're an adult getting married, you see. But I guess that's not something that I should really expect a dum-dum like you to even understand. Isn't that right? And since your dad is getting up there in age, I doubt that he's going to be around for much longer. And you know what that means, right? It means that your brother is going to get a far inheritance check from him soon. All I have to do is play my part just a little while longer, and then I'll be swimming in more money than I even know what to do with. If I can just get through this, then my life is going to be smooth sailing from here on out. It's going to be just perfect.
Wait a second. You mean you don't even care about what happens to either of our families at all? You're just wanting to use them to enrich yourself? What's the matter with you?
Don't tell me you're one of those sentimental types who get all mushy about family, are you? One of these days, you're going to learn that everything in this world is just there waiting to be used. It's just about how good you actually use them.
I really don't even know what to say to you right now. I mean, this is so off topic anyways. But anyways, could you just please tell me where it is that everyone is going to go eat out after the funeral today?
Man, you really are clueless, do you know that? I can't believe that you even need me to tell you something like that. I mean, really, when are you finally going to get a clue? What is it like having to go through life always asking people to tell you things like that? Is it embarrassing? I really just don't know how I would live. Anyways, I lied to you. We're actually not going out, but we're going to have you pick up some things that we've already ordered from the restaurant. Now, your mom should have already paid for everything, so you'll be going to pick up 5 plates, got it?
Wait a second. 5 plates? Is that right? Are they to share something like that? Because there's 6 of us, you know.
Oh, man, are you really that you can't even count right either? What is your deal? Man, why do I always have to spell this kind of stuff out for you? I wanted you to get 6 things. Then I would have said 6, but the correct number is 5, and that is why I sent that message to you. Let's just take it from the top to make sure that you understand what's going on here. We have your parents, myself, my husband, plus your husband. That is 2 couples or 4 people, plus your 1 husband, which, if I did my math right, should equal 5 people. Now, do you have any problems with that? Do you get it? And make sure you don't end up ordering anything else either, okay? That's all we ordered, and that's all you should come home with.
I'm sorry, but I'm still just a little confused about what's going on here. I mean, aren't you forgetting someone with all of these dishes?
What are you talking about? Are you really going to make me go through all of this over again with you? Unless, wait a second. You didn't think that we were going to be getting any food for you, did you? I mean, really? Did you actually think that I was inviting you to come and eat with us? Is that what you thought was going to happen? Because that is just ridiculous if that's what you thought I was saying all this time. I would be scared for you to even show up to the meal.
I'm sorry, now I'm really confused here. So you've ordered these meals to be made and picked up ahead of time. You knew that I was coming to the funeral today, and yet you didn't even bother to have a plate arranged for me?
Of course not. Don't you get that some little high school dropout like you doesn't deserve to eat such a nice meal with my amazing family? I mean, what would you even do surrounded by so many smart and successful people? Do you really think you would ever fit in a crowd like that? Honestly, sometimes I am just amazed by that tiny, pathetic little brain of yours. Is there even anything going on in there at all? How do you even function day to day? It just amazes me. Why would we even waste giving food like that to you? You wouldn't know what to do with a nice meal if it walked up to you and smacked you in the face. That's why we're not bothering to get you anything at all.
You know what, Cindy? I think that you are really starting to push me to my limits right now. I am starting to get just a little bit upset, and I really think you should back. You really need to stop talking to my daughter-in-law like this.
Your daughter-in-law? What are you talking about? Unless... Wait a second. Is this... Frank?
I can't believe that she would try and keep you from enjoying some nice food with the rest of us. I mean, the whole reason I wanted to go somewhere nice was because it had been so long since we'd all had a chance to eat out together as a family.
But I don't understand. How did you even know that Cindy was trying to exclude me from something like that in the first place? I never said anything to you at all.
Oh, come on. You think I don't know my own daughter well enough to know when she's up to her usual tricks? I saw the faces that she was making while typing out all those horrible messages to you and knew that she was up to no good.
Oh, well, I really am so sorry to get you involved in this. I mean, we weren't really going to start a scene or anything like that. It's just that when I heard the way she was talking to me, I was so shocked that she was just being so frank about her feelings as far as I was concerned.
Well, I really don't think there's all that much to even be surprised about when you really think about the kind of person that my daughter is. I mean, I know that she's been making fun of you for a while, all because you never graduated high school or something like that. Isn't that right? Well, I want you to know that I also only have my GED. So, if you don't deserve a good meal with all of us, then I suppose that I shouldn't be eating out with you all either, right?
But I mean, I just had no idea about this. I didn't even know what to say right now.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to get in between what you and my daughter were talking about, but I just couldn't stand the way that she was treating you. I mean, it was just completely unfair. I mean, I know that I was taking on a lot of responsibilities, but a lot of power as well when I took over this company from my parents. I guess maybe I just didn't think about the effect it might have on my children. Besides, when my parents did pass away, I didn't have the chance to finish high school since I was so busy running things back then. And this was when the company was much smaller, mind you.
Frank, I don't know what to say. That's so incredible that you've managed to accomplish all that you have in your life.
Well, I suppose that I've always just been a hard worker ever since I was little. But then again, I know that you're just as hard a worker as I am. I can see it in your face. And that's why I just couldn't stand to see my daughter talking to you the way she was. That girl just has no idea how to even show the bare minimum of respect to others. I'm only sorry that I didn't realize what she was doing earlier on. I just want you to know that my wife and I want you to feel cared for in this family. And I really had no idea that Cindy was talking to you like this for so long. I'm just embarrassed that it went on this long.
Well, I don't think that you need to blame yourself for any of this at all. In fact, I'm sorry for not coming to you about this sooner, but I really don't want you to think that I blame you for any of this at all. I just didn't know that I could really go to anyone about this in the first place. But I really am sorry to have started any kind of friction between you and your daughter.
Oh, Tammy, you really are such a sweet woman. Did you know that? I mean, really. Thank you so much for even wanting to try and make me feel better about this. But the thing is that I've known my daughter for a long, long time now, and I just don't think there's much that anyone can do for her at all. Besides, unfortunately, at the end of the day, the one thing that I learned is that my daughter is just too cute. She can get away with whatever she wants to.
Wait, what do you mean? I'm sorry, I don't think I quite follow what you're meaning by that last message.
So I just hope that maybe you can find it in yourself to let this go. I know that it's unfair to ask of you, but for the sake of my family, it would mean so much. Of course, if you don't wish to, I completely respect that as well.
I really had no idea just how kind you all would be to me. Even now, I can see you wanting to balance your duties to your family and to your extended family. And that's why, although it pains me to say, I still don't think that I can forgive Cindy for the way that she's treated me. But I just want you to know that I don't think she has any idea just how lucky she is to have a family like you. But I can't let someone talk that way to me about my family and get away with it.
I completely understand. You have to do what you have to do, and I'm not going to be the one to stop you.
I can't believe that you would embarrass your own father-in-law like that. I mean, really, what were you thinking? Oh, wait, that's right. You weren't thinking at all because you're an idiot.
What in the world could you possibly be calling about now, Cindy?
Don't you play dumb with me. I know how you embarrassed your father-in-law, and that's why he felt like he had to apologize to you.
I didn't do anything at all. I went out to eat with the rest of your family, and your dad was kind enough to stick up for me and not eat. He said that if I wasn't good enough to enjoy any of that food, then he wasn't either.
Oh, just shut up. You don't know what you're talking about at all. Do you really think that a man of his stature would actually feel the need to stick up for you like that? I don't know what you did, but you had better realize just how humiliated you made my father and go and apologize to him right now.
I really don't think that I need to do that. I mean, has he even asked you to ask this of me? Why are you trying to make me do this?
What are you talking about? How dare you talk back to me as if you know anything about this family at all? You're just an idiot who should have never married into this family to begin with. Honestly, if I could have my way, I would just force you and my brother to get a divorce already. I can't stand having you hang around my family.
Well, I'm sorry, but I think that you're missing is that this family is growing whether you like it or not. And I don't think that I have ever in my entire life met someone as nasty as you. But if you're going to talk to and about my family like this, then I see now that I have no choice but to stand up for and protect my family. And I am going to make you regret treating me this way.
I have no idea what you're talking about at all. Although, frankly, you probably don't know what you're talking about either. I mean, really, are your brains just oozing out of your ears at this point or something? Tammy, did you really think that you were going to get somewhere by tattling on me to my husband? I bet you thought you were so clever, but I've already seen through this stupid scheme of yours. And I told him all about the crazy lies that you've come up with about me, so nobody is ever going to believe a word that you have to say again.
I mean, you caught me. I won't lie. I did go and talk to your husband about some of the things that you've been saying to me.
I knew that it was you. His confronting me had your grubby little prints all over it. Of course, no wonder the plan fell apart so quickly when the person who made it hasn't even graduated high school.
Well, I didn't just talk to him. I also showed your husband all of the evidence that I gathered against you. I mean, really, did you think that I was going to make complaints about you if I didn't at least have the evidence to back it up? So don't worry. It's not just my word that he has to go off of. I showed up all the texts that we sent to one another. I also showed him videos and pictures and voice recordings that I taken. I have proof of you being abusive towards me in at least 4 different mediums at this point. And I have to say, your husband just looked so let down.
Wait a second. Did you really do all that? Is it supposed to be some kind of joke? How could you do this to me?
Well, you were the ones saying that there was no way a plan created by someone as stupid as me could ever work, right? But I've been putting up with you for a long time now. You've thrown away food that I was saving for later. You've covered my room in garbage that you wanted me to take out. You do all kinds of horribly petty things that I think most people would have grown out of by middle school.
Wait a second. Did I really do all of that? Are you sure? That doesn't sound like me. I would never do something like that.
If you've actually forgotten all that you've done to me, then that just goes to show what a horrible person you really are. Do you know that? I remember one day when I went out, I came back to find all my clothes ripped up and destroyed. I asked if you knew what had happened to them, and you said it wasn't your fault that all my clothes were so cheaply made. There have even been times when you've destroyed pairs of shoes that I've owned, and I've had to go out practically barefoot.
Okay, I really don't remember doing any of these kinds of things at all. You're just playing a delusional victim, and I don't have to sit here and take all of this. I mean, do you even have proof about any of these things at all? Because I seriously doubt that you do, since I didn't do any of it.
I told you that I had plenty of proof, didn't I? I know that you think I'm nothing but a moron, but I'm more clever than you think. I've been biding my time and waiting, gathering up all the proof that I would need for this, and now the time is finally right.
But wait a second. Were you really just trying to gather evidence on me this whole time? You can't be serious, right? You wouldn't really do that to your own sister-in-law, would you?
Oh, but I really would is the thing. Every time that you and I have gone out somewhere, I have a voice recorder on me keeping track of all the horrible, nasty things that you say about me.
You mean you've been bugging our conversations? How could you do that? I thought we were family. I thought that I could trust you, but you were just trying to catch me on a hot mic?
I wasn't trying to catch you doing anything, if you really want to know. I wouldn't have to even work hard if I did want to catch you. But I just knew that you would fight this to the bitter end if I didn't have all my ducks in a row. That's why I made sure to have plenty of evidence against you before I decided to make my move. I wasn't trying to gather anything, but when I realized that you wouldn't just learn your boundaries, I decided at least you foist yourself on your own petard.
But then, if you've got all that evidence, what are you going to do with it? I seriously doubt that someone like you would just be holding all of this only to give it to her brother-in-law, right?
I was actually going to take all of this and go talk to a lawyer, if you really must know. But the reason that I even decided to take all of this to your husband in the first place is because I wanted to know what he thought of it. I wanted to know if he thought it would be enough to convince everyone that I was telling the truth about you. And of course, he was just so disappointed in you when he did realize what a horrible person you had been to me this entire time, but he thanked me for finally making him see the truth about you. And if that was a reaction that told me that I finally had more than enough to make everyone believe me about what you've been doing and saying to me.
But then, no, this can't be right. This can't be happening at all. This isn't how this thing was supposed to go. I mean, are you really telling me that my husband took your word over mine?
It just wasn't my word that he was taking over yours, you know. It was all the proof that I had gotten against you. He only had his own thoughts and guesses about what was going on between us. But yesterday, when we had our chat about all that you'd done to me, he had no choice to finally believe all the things that he never wanted to about the kind of person that you really are. In fact, he even said that this was enough to make him want to divorce you. So what do you think about that, huh?
Hold on a second. You're telling me that on top of showing my husband all of this and making him disappointed in me that he's going to ask me for a divorce because of this as well?
That's right. In case, I don't know if you've noticed, but your husband isn't even at home right now. And do you want to know what I think he might be doing at this exact moment? I think that he might be out talking to a lawyer about how he can divorce you right now. I mean, I suppose I might know more than enough just to guess, since I was the one who told him about this really great family lawyer that I know in the first place.
Oh, come on. This has got to be some kind of joke or something, right? I mean, why would you go and do something like this? Are you trying to tear my family apart? What's the matter with you? I know that you think you've won right now, but I'm here to let you know that I'm not going to let myself be bested by some idiot nobody like you. This is all your fault. You're the reason I'm getting divorced, do you know that? You've completely ruined my marriage and blown up my family. I hope that you're happy with yourself. But I really don't think that you know who it is that you're messing with. You have made a very serious enemy with someone who, unlike you, has gone to college and at a very, very, very nice school, too. I'm going to find a way to get back at you for this. I know what I'll do, in fact. How about I sue you since you like lawyers so much, huh? I'll sue you for slander. You're just a nobody who I can't see ever wanting to stick up for at all. And on the other hand, I'm a gorgeous and smart woman who went to amazing school. There'll be no contest at all when I take you into court. You're just a loser with nothing going for you, and I'm going to prove it by suing you into oblivion. You're not going to have a single cent left to your name by the time that I'm done with you. And when I finally have had my way with you and left you broke and penniless, crying on the ground and begging me for mercy, only then will I think that I finally trained you on how to show respect to your betters.
Wow, what a bunch of text to wake up to. It's not every day that someone types out their personal manifesto of revenge and delivers it right to your phone. But I'm going to make things clear for you again. For probably the millionth time at this point, really, I did not drop out of high school. And if that's the only reason why you think I'm such a moron, then I think you're going to need to go back and double check your facts, because you are getting that one detail very wrong.
Oh man, that really is just too much to hear from a complete loser like you. You are just so pathetic, do you know that? I mean, did you really think that I was ever going to believe a lie like that? Did you think that you were tricking me or something like that? Nothing you can do is ever going to stop me. You'll pay for what you did to me. I'll crush you like the bug that you are.
Are you sure about that? Because I think you should know that I've already hired a lawyer, and they are already filing the necessary paperwork against you.
Hold on a second. You mean that you really did actually hire a lawyer? And that you're really actually going to be suing me?
Oh, but of course. And I plan to bleed you dry, so I hope that you're ready for this.
Wait a second, why am I letting you trick me like this? I know that you're not being real with me. I know that you're nothing but a liar with all of this. But I know for a fact that an idiot like you couldn't even figure out how to hire a lawyer. You probably just learned what that word even means.
You do know that I run a factory in town, don't you? I mean, you keep treating me like I'm a nobody, but I literally am supervisor to hundreds and hundreds of workers.
Wait, what? What on earth are you talking about now? Why are you trying to pass yourself as a factory foreman of all people? You think I'm really going to buy this new lie when I didn't believe the old ones?
Come on, Cindy. You know that I've gone over this with you over and over again. You know that I run one of the factories that your dad's company manages. Just why do you think it is that him and I get along so well in the first place? We always have things to talk about, especially when it comes to the industry. And I know that we're really not supposed to talk about how much money we make since it's not classy, but let's just say that I am more than comfortable.
Wait a second. That can't be right at all. Are you telling me that you actually work at the company that my dad's company owns? But, I mean, they only deal with really big clients.
And just what does that tell you about the caliber that your dad and I are working at right now? Did you really not know that I've known your dad for a good long while before I even married into this family? Actually, when I first started working at the factory, it wasn't long after I had to drop out of high school way back then. I think that it's already been about 10 years since all of that happened.
Hold on a second. You're telling me that you've known my dad for a whole decade, and I had no idea about it at all?
It really is true. You see, it wasn't long after I had started high school when both my parents died in a car crash. By then, I was old enough to legally emancipate myself and become a legally recognized adult if I so chose, and so I did. But that meant that I had to start taking care of myself, so I dropped out of school and found a job at a local factory. It was actually there that I first met your dad, and he gave me my job there. I told him that I do whatever it takes to be a success and to take care of myself, and he's been like a mentor to me ever since.
But I mean, does this just mean that you owe everything you have, even your own job right now, just to the graciousness of my dad? Doesn't that make you nothing but a little parasite who has never accomplished anything in their lives? You really thought that you were going to shock me with that little story about knowing my dad from way back? But now I know that you're really nothing but his lackey.
I am sure that when your dad took me under his wing that it was just out of compassion first, but he quickly taught me how to provide for myself. He was always convincing me to go for promotions I didn't think that I was ready for. He was nothing but a kind-hearted man who wanted to see an orphan like me succeed. I actually ran into his son much later on though. It was totally out of work and at a complete coincidence. But when he took me to meet his parents, Frank and I just laughed and laughed at how small the world really was.
But then, you mean, this entire family has been on your side this whole time? How can this be? I thought that they would surely take my side in all of this. You knew that you could blow up my family like this at any time. You tricked me. This isn't fair. How could you do this to me? You're so cruel.
I didn't do anything that you weren't already doing. And besides, you basically made it sound like you married into this family for the money and nothing else.
Don't tell me that you showed my husband all those texts where we talked about that too. I wouldn't do something like that, right? You know how bad that would make me look?
Of course I showed him those texts. Why do you think he was so let down with you in the first place? I mean, did you really think that you were just going to get away with what you were doing and how you were treating people? I went to go and talk to the family that we both married into, and everyone more or less agreed that they were just sick of the way that you were treating not only me, but people in general. You're just so full of yourself. And now we've all decided that we've put up with you for long enough. So believe it or not, you are getting divorced and I am suing, and that is that. After that, everything went so how I said it would. First, my brother-in-law began his divorce process with Cindy. When it was all said and done, she was out of place to live. She was already in a lot of personal debt, and after she packed up her bags and moved away, nobody ever heard from her again. Some people think that the shady people she was borrowing money from took her away in the night. But luckily, before that could happen, I was able to get my lawsuit in and take her to court for all kinds of property destruction and mental anguish. I knew that I was only driving her deep into debt, but it really wasn't my problem at all, so I didn't actually care all that much. Meanwhile, without Cindy there to ruin everything for the rest of the family, I was only able to get closer to my spouse's family, and we were all greatly enjoying each other's company. Frank apologized again for not picking up on just how terrible his daughter was being. He told me that it was like having to pick between his own children when it came to us, but I guess now we know which one was the favorite. Things have mostly returned to normal now, and with my married life back on track and my career showing no signs of slowing down, of course I wish things went better between Cindy and I, but I'm just glad she's gone now.
I heard from Clark that both you and your mother would be coming over to our house today. And I shouldn't forget that your father will also be coming. Why are you guys coming here again? I was thinking this weekend it would be just the two of us celebrating. After all, that's what I told Clark that I had been wanting to do. Hello, Demi. I'm sorry that it took me this long to get in touch with you about this. My parents and I are just planning to come around to say congrats to my brother, and then after that, we'll take off. We have no plans of staying long, besides to just drop him off a few things, so don't worry about us. It's been a long time since we've been out to see you guys, so even a short time will make all of us happy. That right there is just you guys coming here for money now, isn't it? What? What do you mean we'd just be going there for money? Us? You're only coming now after hearing about how Clark became a lawyer, right? And because you now know that your younger brother and your parents' son is going to have a lot more money coming in, right? Are you not embarrassed to be a part of his family when you all don't have the kind of money he does? Or could it be that you low-life families have no idea what shame feels like? Hold it right there, Demi. What was all of that about just then? You're acting like my family is coming out just to ask for some money. My parents and I would never do something like that. We happen to all be doing just fine in terms of money, and even if we weren't, we would never be asking my brother to help us. You must not be very aware of much then, if that's your assumption of us, right? I can just imagine that all of you are really struggling with money right now is all. When I got a look at you, as well as your plain old mom, I knew. With looks like that, there's no way either of you could have anything more than a couple $100 in your bank account right now. In your case, you're 35 years old now, but are still living with your parents unmarried, right? That right there makes you quite the loser, doesn't it? You poor thing. What the heck are you rambling on about right now? My parents and I are not in need of any money at all. And after having spoken with my brother, Annie, you should be aware of that too, right? I'm sure he hasn't told you much about what we all do for a living, but he never said anything about us not having money. And in my case, I'm not living with my parents in their house. I just go to their place for work. And at times, if I have to stay late, I'll stay the night at their place instead of going all the way home. But all of that has nothing to do with you now, does it? All of those excuses make you look even more sad. Anyway, I think you all should give up on coming over here, all right? If you all come here looking for money, I'll have to figure something out for you guys, and that would cause some trouble for Clark. How about you three think about how he's feeling for once? Demi, if you think you could just judge all of us without first thinking about things, you're going to really regret your choices later. I'm just going to leave you with this now. Take care not to say too much when talking about things you don't understand. I'm going to talk with Clark now, so goodbye. Clark, we told you that this weekend Mom, Dad, and I would all be coming out, right? It doesn't seem that your wife is really on board with all of that, and actually it seems she has a few misunderstandings about us. How are things going over there? It doesn't sound like either of you are communicating very well together, so I just wanted to make sure there wasn't something more we could be doing to help you guys.
Well, I told her that you three would be coming over this weekend, but she's decided to misunderstand all of that on purpose, as well as get the complete wrong idea about you guys. I've told her over and over now that things aren't the way she thinks, but every time I say something, she only proceeds to make up more things that are wrong. And by this point, she's being such a pain that I don't want to talk with her about it anymore.
Does that mean she's just trying to piss everyone off on purpose? Because after some of the things she was saying about us, that sort of seems to be the only logical case. Clark, I think you need to pull yourself together and wrap all of that up before she goes off the rails. I'm sure you haven't told her anything about the business we all have, but since she's a part of this family and you'll be joining us soon, she has to know. I wouldn't want her to start thinking she can actually say such rude things to Mom and Dad and I without there being any sort of consequences for it.
I have been wanting to talk with her about that, but there really haven't been any chances for me, and with me always being busy and coming home late, she's never at home or awake for me to talk to. Actually, quite recently, she hasn't been around the house much at all when I've been getting home, and won't come back home until the early morning, around 1 or 2 in the morning. But today, she said she's gonna be home all day, so I'll go have a word with her about everything.
Is she working nights or something right now? Because I know that a couple of months ago you were telling me how she wanted to change of pace at work.
Well, actually, she's not even working now, because after I told her I would become a lawyer, she went and quit her job. She had always hated working, so I knew something like that would be coming, but I just never expected her to leave her job so quickly after I said to her that I passed my exams. I promised her that I'd be able to take care of her with my income, and so that's what I'll be doing, I guess.
Did you guys both talk at all about the fact that she'd want to be quitting like that once it was certain you were getting a job?
Not really. I'd tried to talk with her about things like that before, but every time I brought up her work and mine, she would go on her phone and never really participate.
I know I shouldn't be saying this from my position and all, but as a married couple, you both need to talk a bit more. I'm not sure what I should be saying here, but I can feel you both aren't as close to one another as you should be on things. You really need to explain everything to her about the family business here soon, and make sure she's actually listening to you instead of going on her phone. I get that when you both started dating and everything, we didn't talk much about the family business, but now things are different with you both being married. It's not like Mom and Dad are trying to hide things from her anymore now, right? So why are you still holding back?
That's a good point. I've been thinking about that a lot, actually. It's just that considering our family, I knew there would be all kinds of girls trying to get into it through me.
We're well aware of that, but we think that since you're married now, things are different.
Maybe I was being too hesitant in order to protect Mom and Dad, but you're right that I'm married to Demi now, so I really do need to tell her everything.
That's right. She's already been getting the wrong idea of all three of us here and making fun of us for it. Hearing her say the things she says about Mom and Dad has left me clenching my fists, Clark, which means I need you to explain things to her before we come this weekend so that there isn't any more of this BS, all right?
All right, I'll get it done. Sorry for getting y'all worried about us, and sorry that some of this lack of communication has led to her talking poorly about you all. I'll get all of these misunderstandings she has about you squared up by the end of today.
That's fine, and thank you for doing that. Anyway, congrats on passing those exams. I'm looking forward to seeing you this weekend, as well as giving you the gift Mom and I prepared. I can't believe you all actually came! Thank God I got Clark out of the house by sending him to get the groceries. Demi, what's going on here? You're inside the house, right? Could you please come and get the door for us? My parents and I have been waiting out here. I have no desire of giving this house to the poor. Excuse me? You're still thinking about us all that way, as poor people? Didn't my brother have a word with you before today? He was going on about all sorts of things to me, but from the start I never really wanted to listen to him. That's really something else then. You both are a married couple, so you should be listening to one another. Anyway, it's cold out here, so let us inside. Fine, then pay me $10,000 to get in. Huh? Why $10,000? That's your entrance fee. I want you to prove to me that you're not as poor as you look. I have no idea what you're going on about now. Why should we have to pay anything to be here to celebrate my brother's success? I have no idea why we should even have to pay to see my brother in the first place. This place isn't just my husband's house, but my house as well now. And as a way of defending it, I should be keeping all of you poor beggars away from it, right? Would you stop being so rude, calling us poor and beggars? Pull yourself together and just cut all of that childish crap out for me. You're all the ones that need to pull yourselves together, you lowlifes. This whole time, not one of you have ever really come out to see Clark, yet now that he's become a lawyer, you all want to see him. Are you all really that happy about his success now? You all should feel embarrassed by yourselves, you lowlife beggars. Demi, that right there was the last straw. Now, would you please get this door? I want the three of us to explain to you in detail what my parents and I do for a living that is so important to you and my brother. As long as you pay me $10,000. You're still talking about that entrance fee? Cut that crap out right now. Seriously. If you three poor losers want to come into my house to beg us for some money, you first have to pay the entrance fee. And if you can't pay it, then get lost. Then we're going home. All right, goodbye forever. I'm so happy to see the trash taking itself out for once. Can we also consider this us all cutting ties to one another now? We don't have any use for the 3 piles of trash anymore after all. Understood. Then let's cut ties. I'll let Clark know about what you're asking for as well. Are you sure that's really what you want, though? I don't care what you talk about with him, because he will always care about my feelings and I the most. He should have cut ties to the 3 of you lowlifes from the very start, I think. Demi, you're going to regret all of this immediately after I talk with him. But if you're going to hate anyone for that afterwards, it better be yourself and nobody else. Goodbye forever now. As you've asked, we'll all be cutting ties to you now. I can't seem to get in touch with your mother right now. Do you have any idea where she is or what she's doing at the moment? It seems I can't get a call through to your father either. Hey, Annie, do you mind calling with me right now? What do you want to talk about? Because I have nothing to talk about with you anymore. Wait, I have a lot to talk with you about. So please call me right now. I listened to what all Clark had to say to me this time, so this would be about that. Call this me wanting to check on what he was talking about with you or something. Check with me about it? What all do you have to check with a stranger about now? You and I cut ties to one another already, right? Things have turned out just the way you asked for, so would you please stop talking to me forever now? I don't have time to talk to those that don't want to listen to me anymore. No, wait. Let me ask you this one question. Are you and your parents really all lawyers right now? You're going to ask the obvious? Well, we are lawyers, yes, but what does that have to do with you? The place where Clark is going to work, I heard from him that it's going to be his father's law firm. That can't really be the case, right? But it is the case. Why would my brother, of all people, lie about something like that to his own wife? This family has never lied about anything to someone like you. There's no reason for doing that, right? What? So then that really means you're all a family of lawyers? Why didn't anybody tell me such an important piece of information? This family doesn't really like to go out telling that fact to everyone. If we were to just be open about ourselves, there would be a lot of people who would like to take advantage of us, okay? We all had planned on talking with you about it in more detail once we all could trust you didn't just marry my brother for his money. Plenty of people have tried that before with him and I, and so we need to take extra caution. But we all did make sure to tell you one thing about us, which just so happened to be that important detail. We all work in the world of the legal system, per se. So you should have connected some dots there, which were pretty obvious. Telling me that wasn't a lie now? That's not even what I'm talking about here. I heard that you all aren't going to hire Clark into your law firm now, right? That's left him really, really upset with me now. It has? I don't get why you're so worried about him being upset, though. Didn't you say that you wanted us all to cut ties to you? You think we were going to let him come work for us still if you don't want anything to do with us? If we're having to cut ties to you, then we have to limit our exposure to him the best we can as well, right? That's how we view the idea of cutting ties. What? So then that means you guys are really no longer going to take him on? You're telling me that right as he's finished all of his exams and was ready to be hired as a lawyer, his own family's going to be abandoning him? That's really heartless of all three of you, isn't it? Heartless? Then what do you call someone who goes through with cutting ties to all her husband's family after purposefully calling them all poor, low-life beggars? Doesn't that make you even worse than heartless? You're going to make me laugh now. I can see here that there's no reason to be talking to you anymore. Now, since you have nothing else important to say to me, goodbye. Like you were told, my parents and I are all lawyers, and we all happen to work for the same law firm. That was all you wanted to check with me about, right? I cannot believe that that's actually the truth, though. That has to be the truth, though, right? Since Clark is so mad about things now. Well, perhaps he's mad that because he had to find out that the people who were supporting him all the way through school and those that helped him with his exams were being asked by you to pay $10,000 to come into your house. You gave us the choice of either paying you that money to be let in or cut ties to you and never see one another again, right? I'm pretty sure that right there was enough to tell Clark all he needed to know about you, Demi. Because of your behavior, he's now going to have to start from step 1 in finding a job. But he is a lawyer now, after all, so that won't be too hard. However, he really did want to join the family's law firm. Because of you, he's no longer being allowed that chance. Clark told me all these ridiculous things, like if your father doesn't forgive him and give him that job, then he's going to kick me out of the house and never let me back in. You're calling that ridiculous? I like to think that's the most sensical thing he's said in a long time to you. I think he's making the right call there. I think you need to be made to think about what all you've done here. And when it comes to my parents, I'm not sure they'll be easy to talk with now that they both had to receive all that harsh treatment from your rude attitude. Don't say things like that! I'm not even able to get through to your mother or father anymore, and you're the only person I have left to talk to about this, Annie. Can you please hand your phone over to your mother for me? I need to tell her that I never meant anything by all of that. Why should I have to get my mom involved in all of this again? Is there really any reason for me to be helping you now at all? I mean, you were the one tearing into me without letting me speak because you thought you could just have the right to judge me with no context at all. And actually, I hate you a lot now. We all do here in this family. So having you want to cut ties to us all has really left us feeling relieved and happy. Hey, Annie, you don't have to say things like that about this, right? I apologize for calling you all poor based off the way you all looked. I made a mistake there. So please, forgive your brother at least and let him have that job back that he was looking forward to. His job had nothing to do with my poor choices, right? I don't need you thinking about me, but at least think about how Clark feels right now. I like that you're finally wanting us to care about your husband more than you. But can't you see that this is all your fault and not ours? Also, I talked with Clark already. He told me that he spoke with you about everything in regards to his new job and his family. He said that you probably already noticed some things about the family that made it seem like he'd be coming to work here. So he wanted to make sure you knew everything about it. What? Clark came and told me about all of that? But the thing is, you never even looked up at him when he was talking. You just sat there on your phone typing away with someone else. Clark already told me about how you've rarely even been home when he's around, so there hasn't been enough time for him in general to talk with you. In other words, you never listened to my brother and only replied with yep and okay with no real understanding. And because of that, you were left in the dark on your own behalf, right? That pretty much means you set yourself up for failure and can't be blaming anyone else for it, right? That means what happens next is all your responsibility and nobody else's. And considering you told your husband's whole family off, we don't want to talk with you anymore. And since Clark is married to you, that means we cannot allow him to work close to us either. So we'll have him go and find a new job now. We have to make sure we have no relation to you and your family whatsoever. No way! Then you're being serious? You're going to abandon the both of us? Well, whatever. I'm going to be straightforward with you now. Clark has said to me that if you don't give him his job back that he was promised, then he's going to divorce me. I left my job all because I learned he was going to become a lawyer. Don't you feel like dicks if you let something like divorce happen to me? If I have to lose my Clark, I'll have nothing left. That sounds like a problem between you and Clark then. Leave me out of it. Especially since I've been wanting to cut ties to you this whole time, so your troubles mean nothing to me. Hold on a second there. You shouldn't have to be so cold by saying that to me. What's going to happen to me, Annie? I was finally so happy thinking that my life would be perfect since my husband was becoming a lawyer of all things. Had you really cared about your husband and the life you were going to live with him, you would have never quit your job without talking to him first. And you would have never made all those remarks about his family without knowing the context first. And you would have listened to him more instead of being on your phone all the time or out of the house, right? Well, too late for me to be telling you that now, though. Please, forgive me, Annie. Please allow Clark to work for you guys. I promise to become a good wife from now on. I promise to never say anything rude about you or your parents ever again. It's too late now. And even if you can get my forgiveness, when it comes to my dad, he's not as lenient. Therefore, don't expect him to ever be giving Clark a job at his firm now after what you've done and said. Now, goodbye to you forever, Demi. Aren't you just so happy that you no longer have to be family with this group of low-life beggars anymore? Although it's not just that you've cut ties to us now, considering you're going to most likely lose your husband as well now.
I tried talking with Dad about it all, but it seems I'm really not going to be able to work with you all now. Having now realized that it's hopeless to ask anymore, I'm going to start working on my own affairs now and tidying them all up. And after that, I'll find work somewhere else and try to become as great a lawyer as all of you.
I'm glad to hear you're moving forward now. Do you really think you can find somewhere else around to work, though?
Dad introduced me to one of his colleagues, so as of right now, things are in the works between that colleague and me.
Is that right? Oh, great to hear. I know Dad can be a bit of a hard ass, but he's still worried about you at all times, so he'll do everything he can to make sure you're all right.
I know that, and that's why I need to get my act together now.
Having heard all of this, I can assume what's happening next with you and... Well, what's your plan for Demi?
I'm divorcing her for sure. I sort of knew this was going on, but she'd really been cheating on me.
I sort of assumed the same thing, which really sucks. When you brought up that she was going out every night but didn't have a job anymore, I knew something was going on there. I hope that didn't hurt you too much now, though.
I've been planning on becoming a marriage and divorce lawyer for a very long time, so this won't bother me one bit. I already know where the man she's been with works and where he's been living. So I'll make sure he pays up along with her and that they both go and rot in hell for what they've done to me.
Hearing that from you brings me a lot of hope. That's why you're a part of this family.
But I really did enjoy being married somewhat. I mean, you've had to deal with all sorts of marriage issues relating to your job, so I know how you feel about getting married yourself. But I want you to make sure to give a try sometime. I've always worried about you regarding that and thought you might need someone helping you out there.
Stop worrying about me. But thanks for the offer. I'll think about all of that. Anywho, I'm just glad to hear that you're still moving on from all that's happened. Sure, you might not be working for our firm now, but you are still a part of this family. If you ever need any help with anything, don't be afraid to ask me about it.
Thank you so much, Annie. I'm so sorry for all the trouble this caused you.
Don't worry about it. And congrats on successfully graduating and passing all of your exams. Please enjoy your brand new life as a single lawyer from now on, okay? After that, I received a few messages from Demi every now and again, but having to talk with her was too much of a hassle, so I just ignored them all. She was trying to get me to stay in touch with her and everything so that we'd grow closer to one another, but I had no intentions of bothering with her crap anymore. And after some time, those text messages from her that I'd get would turn into calls in the middle of the night, where she'd leave me a voicemail crying about how she'd be losing everything and that it was all my fault because I never bothered to help her. With all of that studying Clark had done, he was well aware of what he could do to both Demi and her secret lover in court, and was able to act as his own lawyer as he got a settlement from the both of them. One morning, I just decided that it was time to block her number altogether, and since then, I haven't had to hear from her ever again. When it came to Demi and Clark, he was able to take her and her secret man to court over them having a relationship behind his back. There, he fought them by himself since he'd studied for years now to become a divorce lawyer and knew all the ins and outs of things like getting settlements for unfaithfulness in a couple's relationship. So by the end of the case, there was nothing Demi or her man could do in terms of fighting the settlement Clark was bound to get from them. They both ended up having to pay him some major settlements and would not be able to pay it all out to him right away due to the large amount. When that court case had concluded, Demi was kicked out of my brother's house while he began to finish up all the paperwork for their divorce, and she had to move back home to her parents' house. However, when both of her parents heard about what he'd done, they both told her that she would need to get a job within a week or else they'd kick her out as well and disown her. So within that time, she ended up getting 2 part-time jobs, which she's now working both day and night, all so that she'll have the money not only to pay off that settlement to Clark, but to afford the rent that her parents are forcing her to pay. After that divorce had been dealt with, and the only relation my brother had to Demi was that settlement, Clark was able to freely move on from thinking about Demi, and was then able to focus all of his attention on getting a new job. Considering that he's my little brother, I just know that he's doing his best wherever he ends up going. And from what he told me our dad did for him, he'll most likely be going to my dad's colleague's office in town to work for their law firm. And honestly, I think that'll suit him far better than our law firm for the time being, since its main focus is that of marriage-based lawsuits and such. And I'm sure there'll be a day someday that my brother will be allowed to come and work for the family firm. But until that day actually comes, he's going to have to prove himself out there in the field, and hopefully find himself a better woman to bring home. As for myself, nothing really changed for me during all of these rather annoying and frustrating events. I never really had a relationship with Demi, and so her no longer being a part of the family didn't faze me in any other way than making me happy. Now, as for what my brother was saying about me trying marriage out now, I'm not so sure I'll follow him up on that recommendation. However, I have been with a man that I really enjoy being around for some time now, who I've kept a secret from my family. So we'll see where my feelings for him end up taking me. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.